Hi everyone, I'm here with Pam Gaber. She is the wonderful founder of Gabriels Angels, and Gabriels Angels is one of those nonprofits that we love and adore here in our community that is being severely affected right now by COVID-19. So Pam, thank you so much for joining me on Myhomegroup TV. We appreciate it.
Anything for you.
Oh, thank you. Well, anything for you too. And that's why I really want to talk about how you are being impacted as a nonprofit, specifically because you had a big event, like a lot of events that had to be canceled because of this. Unleash the Love, 20th anniversary of Gabriel's Angels. How is this affecting the organization?
Well, thank you for the opportunity to talk about it, because within the walls of our office, we can give you a little bit obsessive, right? But we really were hoping for a real celebratory 20th anniversary for our agency. And as you stated, we did need to cancel our Unleash the Love breakfast. Catherine, that's our number one fundraiser. Traditionally, and on in normal years, we bring in $250,000. That now, just quite frankly, isn't going to happen. We've made some changes within the agency, so our short-term impact is I have about 52% of the staff that I had a couple weeks ago. My program people have been sent home. They're working 25% of the time out of their homes. And you know me, I'm such a cheery girl, and
Yes,
I
you
wish.
are.
This morning was a tough one where we let our administrative assistant go, and everybody's suffering, and my job is to make sure that this agency is sustainable through all of this. Now, when the recession hit, our demand for services doubled because kids were out of home care because of the stress back in 2009. This is really different because the demand for our services is down to be non-existent. Schools are closed, agencies are suspending visits, and our real challenge now is to keep our volunteer therapy teams engaged. So when we are able to come back for them, for the children, that they're ready, able, and willing. There was an article in the USA Today this morning about experts expect child abuse and neglect cases to be on the rise. So when we get back to whatever that new normal is, we're going to be needed more than ever. And I want our teams to understand this hiatus that we're in. So, working with a skeletal crew, there's not as much to do, I'll agree, but when everything pops back in, we're going to scale right back up for these kids, because that's going to be absolutely the most important thing. And then what else happens? Fixed operating expenses don't go away, right? I mean, like the lights run and the rent has to get paid and internet service. And so I think in the short term, we've hunkered down.
Yes.
We're a team that care about each other. We're doing just the best we can. And, I'm up at 2 a.m. wondering how I can fill this gap of this funding that is going to be necessary for us to get through the summer. So we have plans.
Let me interrupt you for just a second, Pam, because for people who are watching who are not familiar specifically with what Gabriel's Angels does in the community, you were talking about the kids who are abused, and you really help those children on a daily basis. So talk to me just briefly about some of the services you provide that are being impacted right now.
Sure, I'd be happy to do that. Gabriel's Angels works on establishing core behaviors in children that their caretakers have not been able to do. We teach children trust, we teach them empathy and compassion, we teach them self-regulation, and it's all done through the absolutely magical bond between dogs and children. And without us being able to help these kids, they're in stressful homes right now. We can't visit them there. We are here to help kids grow into productive, lovely adults that are able to weather storms like these. And we've been doing it 20 years. We have 123 partner agencies. We'll serve about 13,000 children a year. And it pains me that during this hiatus, we are really unable to do our work with these kids.
And that is one of the devastating things about the impact that this is having on nonprofits across the community, is that we are talking about organizations that help families and children and people who are in need most. So I know that you are pivoting in one way by taking part in Giving Tuesday Arizona. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, you're right. You know me a long time. I'm kind of a pivot person. And the first thing we're doing is Arizona Gives Day is the first Tuesday in April. One of the new trends, Catherine, that had has kind of come to light in the past year or so is this thing called peer-to-peer fundraising. And it's when people ask people to give to them to causes that they care about. Because actually, a lot of fundraising is people give to people. So when we had to make the call to cancel, we've got our board, our steering committee, some of our volunteers. They're all putting pages up on the azgives.org website. And then they're sending that link out to everyone they know and say, I'm not hosting a table, or I'm on the board of directors. Please help Gabriels Angels fill the gap. And that type of giving is unique because I don't know who you know and you don't know who I know. So this big kind of grassroots effort could really be the thing that helps us get through the summer. I'm so pleased of the response. I wrote 50 emails on Sunday because I couldn't go anywhere to all of the table hosts. And I said, will you help me? And the majority of them said, what do you need? I'm in. And that, I get goosebumps because that's after 20 years of doing the right thing in this community as an agency, that people are willing to step up and help us. I think the peer-to-peer is going to make an incredible difference. The other pivot point is what I had to do this morning. I don't ever want to get good at telling someone that they're laid off.
Yeah.
The other downsizing that we had to do. It's a sad pivot, but it's the smartest thing to do to keep us weathering the storm. Because like we talked earlier, everything comes back to what that new normal is. Yeah. These kids, because of the stress, are going to be waiting for us. And we want to be staffed back up, ready to go, and help these children.
Well, you save lives, you make a difference, and so obviously we have seen in past situations where our community has been asked to come together that they do rise to the occasion. So what can people do now to help you?
Go to azgives.org, right, and look up Gabriels Angels. And I don't want to be self-serving here, but go to the pages of your favorite charities because we're not the only ones. There's 20,000 nonprofits in the state. I want to help be a spokesperson, if you will, for all of them because they're helping kids, the elderly, veterans, feeding people, basic needs. I'd love for Gabriels Angels to be on your list because I think that that's going to help us be ready when everything comes back. And I think too, you brought it up earlier, Catherine, that we as a community need to acknowledge that whether it's a for-profit entity or nonprofit, they're businesses that people they work and they put food on their table and they take care of their family because they work in one of these two sectors. And the nonprofit sector is a very large economic engine in this community. And it pains me when I drive by Lucy's, where our office is right down the street, and there's nobody in her coffee shop. That's as devastating because how are people going to buy food? I mean, we have a pandemic and an economic crisis that I do believe, if we're smart about it, that we'll pull right out of it. And I'm hoping by the end of the summer, when you and I have a glass of wine, Catherine, we're going, do you remember that podcast we did on Facebook when we had to really look at the dire straits? And I'm just an optimistic person. I'm just very cautiously optimistic right now and don't want to be flippant about the severity of this, yet I want to have hope. Gabriels Angels brings hope to children. Hope is a good strategy right now. I really believe that.
Well, I think that hope and positive energy is what's going to carry us through this, definitely. Pam, thank you so much. I adore you. This community adores you, and I know that we're all going to rise to the occasion and help you and all of the other nonprofits in this community stay afloat.
Thank you for helping us get the word out. I appreciate it.
Remember, you can catch all of our Myhomegroup TV episodes on the Myhomegroup YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe, like, and comment while you're there. I'm Catherine Anaya. Thanks for watching Myhomegroup TV. Stay safe.